Do we really think that people who are going to be burning down our forests and our homes are going to be put off by hearing the Prime Minister saying that it's all a result of climate change? No, they'll be encouraged.
Climate change is no longer a warning, it's here.
People who are thinking, even dreaming, of setting fire to our forests need to know they will be hunted down, they will be tracked down, we will be putting out huge rewards for those who give us evidence that leads to them being found guilty. We need to get a message that this is a criminal justice issue. This hasn't to do with the climate change agenda of people who just want to shut down industry, shut down business, and they're using these forest fires, human-created forest fires, to terrify people. No, the message is, if you're even thinking, planning about setting fire to forests, we are going to find you. We will track you down and you will be in jail for a very long time.
In Canada last year, forests larger than Ireland burned in the drought and heat.
Prime Minister, please, and with respect, all organizations are reporting the majority of these devastating forest fires are not a result of climate change. The majority are human-started, and in fact, arson is a clear factor.
And a climate crisis that's burning our forests and threatening our kids' futures. We need an energy transition that really works. And climate change is worsening, with bigger storms, heavier flooding, more devastating wildfires. Canadians are feeling the impacts.
As we, of course, respond to these fires, but also know that climate change means they're going to get steadily worse, and we have to keep stepping up and fighting climate change too.
But a lot of people out there might say, what does climate change have to do with this? Explain.
Well, when the summers get drier, when weather gets hotter, when weather patterns shift, communities that were built in a place that never saw fires are suddenly seeing fires much more frequently. There's a shift in everything that means even what we see now is going to just get worse and worse and worse over the coming decades if we're not serious about reducing our emissions and looking for ways to protect our future generations.
This is not primarily a result of so-called climate change. We know the climate is always changing, but to be blaming all of these forest fires on this agenda of shutting down carbon emissions and blaming that, saying that's the issue related to these fires, it's simply not true. The majority of these terrible forest fires are human started, and we have to stop using the climate agenda, which will be used to shut down business, to shut down industry, even in some provinces to shut down travel into parks. We have to get serious about going after the people who are starting these fires.
The message from much of the East Coast: stay out of the woods. The risk of wildfires is just too high. The New Brunswick government has banned access to all Crown land, and in Nova Scotia, the province has banned all travel and activities in wooded areas, thanks to delicate, dry conditions. No fishing, hiking, driving ATVs, or camping, except in official campgrounds.
There's a bit of an ominous ring to how some governments are responding related to the forest fires, especially those being set by arsonists. Some provinces are locking people down, saying you can't go into the forests at all. Can we please take a serious look at that? And can we please get the message out? As I've already indicated, we have to get serious with sending the message to anybody who's even thinking about lighting one of these fires that it's going to be very, very serious for them.
Police in Spokane, Washington have arrested a man whom they believe started a devastating wildfire that has destroyed hundreds of homes.
We executed an arrest warrant and search warrant in the city of Spokane, and we took 37-year-old Aaron Farnacci, a convicted felon, into custody on a single charge of arson in the first degree.
And this isn't true just in Canada, but all around us. Right as I sit here speaking, south of me, right here, not by many miles, in the state of Washington, somebody was just arrested for starting a fire that burned 15,000 acres. It wasn't that long ago in Saskatchewan. A man was arrested, charged with arson, thousands of acres. And in Quebec, there was an individual who was arrested and charged was starting 14 fires. It's not just Canada. The fires that were terrible in Los Angeles started by an arsonist. Just recently, 2 people arrested in New Jersey. Fires started by arsons, while Canada's getting the blame for the smoke. And between July 29th and August 2nd, in the country of Greece, 33 people arrested for human involvement in starting forest fires.
A Larange man who admitted to lighting a fire that sparked a wildfire last summer and forced evacuations from several Saskatchewan communities will have to wait to find out his sentence.
The man who pleaded guilty to arson for lighting the Ditch 2 fire has had his sentencing date pushed back. Jason Halkett was scheduled for sentencing Thursday morning in Montreal Lake, but the sentencing was pushed back until June. The Ditch 2 fire last summer forced evacuations from the Waiaquin area about an hour and a half north of Prince Albert. The fire burned more than 200,000 hectares and grew to be almost 20 times the size of Saskatoon. An investigation by the Saskatchewan Public Safety Agency determined the fire was human-caused. Halkett was arrested on August 27th in Saskatoon and charged with 1 count of arson, damage to property.
Our forests being obliterated by arsonists. It has to stop, and it won't stop unless we send the message very clearly that we're onto a criminal justice agenda here. This is not about climate change. This is about stopping people who care nothing about our country and who care nothing about the lives of other people and who care nothing about our beautiful environment. We can't use these fires as an excuse to fall back on some kind of energy transition program, whatever that is. We need to put more energy into going after the people who are starting these fires and make sure that that message is very strong. We will track them down. We will find them guilty if they're guilty. We'll make sure they spend many, many years in jail for this horrific crime of burning down our forests and burning down the homes of our citizens. Some people will say there's no hope we're going to catch all these people who continue to do this. Yes, there is hope. As with other problems in life, the first step is recognizing and identifying the problem. We've done that. The majority of these fires are started by human beings. We have the way to communicate the message, and we have the resources that we will not tolerate it. We will use every technology available. We will track down the people who are doing these fires. We will make sure that they are in jail for a very, very long period of time. Admit the problem and then go after it with strength and confidence. We can do this.
Climate change is no longer a warning, it's here.